Good morning, guys, and welcome to my channel. We are here at the shop now. Problem is, it's leaking oil. The oil is coming from oil coolers. The whole piece back there. I have to take the whole piece off. I could try to take it out from the bottom. I could try taking it out without removing the turbo. You can see this is the turbo. It's a lot of stuff to take apart. I'm not sure if I want to take it apart. Hopefully I can sneak it. By it. I hope I can sneak by it, but we're gonna try sneak it by it, so we don't have to remove the turbo. We might have another project to do. As you guys can see, it's broken. Oh no, broken! I thought it was just this part here, but it turns out it's shot. It's not supposed to do that. And the other side looks a little crippled. Whee! Anyways, this side is a little shot too. We might have to do both sides. We have to find a good enough pipe, steel pipe, to replace this. The heck is going on? The lights are flickering. So that's the frame for the snow plow they want us to fix. But we're not doing that at the moment because it's almost spring. Spring is almost here. How many of you guys like spring? Comment down below. Alright, so the other day ago, I started to drain the oil filter. I punctured a hole to drain the oil into the bucket. Alright, let's start taking the oil filter off. Okay, oil filter is off. That's where it goes. So this is the piece that we need to take off. Starts from there all the way back here. Hopefully we don't have to take off the turbo. Now, if you guys are wondering how big is this oil filter, I will show you guys right now. Somehow, oh man, the oil filter ended up out here. How did that happen? Well, that's how big it is. There's my hand. Wait, move this over. There's my hand. Two of my hands. Well, a third of my hands. Hand and a half. Hand and a quarter. That's how big it is. That's the oil filter. Some trucks, some out there, bigger trucks are bigger, some are smaller, some are just a regular filter for some reason. We're just gonna throw this just like that. Alright, we're back onto the truck. So I was looking at this, where this pipe goes. I follow it. It goes to the cooling system. Dang it. That sucks. We're doing an oil change on this truck. Anyways, as well. There is a drain plug right there. I don't want to risk it and break it or strip it, because I tried to do it and it is not spinning at all. So there is gonna be a little antifreeze left inside the system here. But let's go drain the main antifreeze. And we do that in some trucks, some, not all of them, and some you need a special tool. And it's stupid. And it sucks that you need a special tool, but the special tool works great. Okay, I had to do a little welding for my buddy there. Alright, as I was saying, some trucks has a bleeder valve to drain, a drain valve to drain the water, and some has a special tool that you need. And if we get a truck with the special tool, hopefully it's because I think it's Mac, Peterbilt, and some Freightliner. I think it was International. And we have the one of the special tools, but it don't fit in all of them. There's different shapes and sizes, which I think that's stupid as hell. But here's a drain valve. Sometimes it's in this side, sometimes it's in this side. Sometimes the special tool that I said goes into the main pipe on the bottom. But this doesn't have it. This is just the cooler here. Transmission cooler. Alright. So, first things first, we have to take off these screws and see what happens. I don't know. We might have to take the turbo off. I really don't want to. Hopefully these seals has a slit on it so we can just attach it to it. Let's go back onto here and examine it more. There's a few bolts. There's actually a few bolts on it. Alright. Let me get the tools ready and let's get started. Alright, got the tools ready and set. So, I was examining it farther. I have to take a few things out of the way first before I start taking the cooler apart. Oh man. Sorry guys. I woke up with a stiff muscle on my neck. And it sucks. How many of you hate waking up with a crippled neck or severe back pain that you can't just take a day off? You have to go to work and just bite your tongue. Yeah, I'm one of those type of guys. Alright, so we're taking this flex pipe out of here, taking this down pipe out of here, leaving the flex pipe intact, but just taking the down pipe, majority of it. That's what we're taking off. That's behind the turbo. That way we have more room and more access to wherever we gotta do. So, excuse me for the loudiness. This one came off no problem. There it is. I got dust in my eye. Now, we could get the ratchet, break it loose, and then use the gun. I didn't brought the ratchet. I'll be right back. Alright. I got the ratchet. This is be considered as the band clamp. Alright, let's remove this out of the way. Before we do remove the flex pipe, we gotta take this clamp out of here. Because that one, I already have a socket on it. It was waiting for me. Alright, I got the clamp loose, but doing so, it's spread open. We're supposed to be locked in place. Let's get a better angle on this. This right here is split open. Alright, I brought myself a pry bar. Oh man. Get it out of the way. Get that out of the way. Alright, now we get the hammer Or let's see if it works with the pry bar. There you go. Oh, Maria. The hammer. Work that a couple times. There you go. Now we gotta whack it from back here. Grab it here, grab the hammer, and smack it. Smack it. Sometimes these clamps have a choice to come out, but some of them doesn't have that choice. Maybe we could reuse this one. Maybe. But let's just see what happens. Alright, now we could remove the flex pipe. I showed you guys. Ah, shit. I'm stuck. Snapples. Schnick. Ouch. Ouch. Yeah, you get bruises like hell. Alright. Now, this is the pipe we're removing. Hopefully it comes out of here. Alright, let's whack it with the hammer. Let's go grab the hammer. Alright, I got it loose. I didn't took it off completely, because as soon as I loosened both of them up, I got enough play on it. So now let's see if we could just break this thing apart from the flex plate. Oh man, my neck. Nope. Let's just take the muffler off. It's like a pain in the ass. Alright. Got the flex pipe loosened up. Cannot be removed. Got the muffler. I have to take off two ways. From here or from here. I think this way will be easier. Once I take that off, I could just pull the whole muffler back and just throw it on the floor. Just remove this. I got this cart here. It's my tool creeper. If you guys want to know where to get this, comment down below. I had to modify it. There was another platform here just like this. I cut it, grinded it down so I could fit bigger tools on here. I kept the metal plate for this purpose, to hold the light. But other than that, keep the tools clean off the ground when you're working on something messy like hydraulics or transmission or whatever. You know, it gets dirty all over. You just don't want to throw your tools on the floor there. And my leash to pull it. Whee! Anyways, let's get this muffler out of the way. Alright guys, this was a pain in the ass. There she is. And that thing fell right on me. Getting the whole thing out. And it's gonna suck to put it back on. There she is. That's out of the way. Pry bar out of the way. And that was in this far. That's how far it was in. Alright, let's start taking the oil cooler off. Okay, we are here. Let's start taking off the cooler, oil cooler, water cooler, whatever the cooler is. Let's see what happens. Taking the first bolt off. Oh my god. Sheesh. I don't want to get hurt. This thing is, it's a bolt, but it is sharp enough to cut your knuckles. If I slip, this will happen. So let's just put this in a different spot. Oh my god, it's so tight. Clean. Alright. First bolt. Alright, for now we are done at the bottom. Now we're moving on the top. Which is, gotta figure out how to get these bolts from back of the turbo. I don't know if you can see me, but I'll get it out. I'll see you in a bit. But before we get to that, let's check the weather outside for today. This morning, it was pretty chilled. I think it was 30 degrees. It was pretty chilled. And I think Thursday is the first day of spring. I'm not really sure, but I hope so, because I can't deal with this cold weather anymore. Alright, looks like the door is open. Somebody opened it. Okay, today's weather, beautiful. Little chill. Not like a chill, like a cool, smooth chill. Not as bad. But it is nice outside. And I can't wait for the nice hot days. Alright, my people. There's a few more bolts left. Ah, shit. I gotta get my adjustable. I forgot about that whole line right there. But got a few more left. One back there, here, and there, and then there's gonna be a mess on the floor. Alright guys, we're at the last bolt. Just that one right there. Hopefully it comes out. Oh my gosh. Things are tight as freaking hell. Trying to do it with one hand sucks. Alright. You guys somewhere here. Hopefully you guys don't fall. Prying method. Hopefully comes out. And hopefully that pan catches stuff. Asphalt. No, that shit is stuck in there. Might have to pry it. Pry it with a little pry bar. Okay. It's bleeding. Ah, schneck. Don't worry guys, we'll pressure wash this stuff. Make it look like clean. Alright. Let's remove it. And then clean it up and see how it looks like. Alright guys, I got it off. Pinch myself. You can see it. That one and the two knuckles on the top. I pinch myself. Here's the piece. We just need 2 seals. One there. That's antifreeze, I'm assuming. Yep. No. Oil. Something. Can't think antifreeze. That's where the antifreeze goes in. Let's get this thing cleaned up and remove the seals. And there it is, clean. Now, there was 2 seals on this. One up here and one that goes everywhere here. This one was bad. It was nice and toasted, which is right here. The one, round one, and the one that broke. It is hard. You can't even bend this. It's supposed to be flimsy like this. Some section. So let me get the rag, my hands. Now let's check how this looks like. Get a razor blade and scrape it off whatever gunk we could get. Make it as clean as possible. Yeah, man. Let's get it done, and then I'll show you guys how it looks like. There you have it, guys. Clean it. Clean it up. Put it back together. Alright guys, the boss is ordering the seals for the cooling here system here for this truck here. My boss also says if we could figure something out for this job here, for this plow. You see, as I showed you guys, broken. He wants me to find a pipe. We could weld it, but it ain't gonna last long. So my idea is to shove another pipe. This is too small, but it'll give you an idea. I'm gonna have to cut this, clean it up, shove a bigger pipe in here, and then weld it and slide the sleeve back on and weld that in place with a cap on the front. Hopefully that'll work. Same thing with this side. But I gotta find a pipe. Come on, man. Are you okay? Just wiggle it. Just a little bit. But let's go find a pipe that would fit in here nice and tight. But before we do, let's cut this pipe off. So that way we could take it with us to find a piece that'll fit on there. So right now I'm using a saw. And I'm cutting this pipe as straight as possible. That way we could take this piece and see if we could match it up with a pipe somewhere that we have in the shop. Alright. Here we go. Pretty thick pipe. A little skinny from the front. Look how actually thick. I think it's like a quarter thick. Yeesh. That rusted that bad. Alright, let's go find a pipe. Alright guys, I found a pipe. And the pipe that I cut off, as you guys saw, the pipe that I got is thicker than all the other pipes, but fits right in there. Not much play. We could fix that. Now we just gotta clean it up real quick with this wire brush here. Take all this dirt off, measure it, and cut it off. Okay, now let's cut the pipe. And there it is, crippled. But we're just gonna weld it so it doesn't have to be pretty cut. Alright, let's start fitting things together. So this one is gonna be the inside. Let's put the crippled side on the inside. And here. Oh, the hole ain't straight. Let's get the sledgehammer and hammer this each in place. Bam, bam, boom. There's the pipe in there. Just gotta buff these out, make them pointy a bit, and start welding it into this pipe. And then we gotta make sure, damn it. As I was hammering away this pipe, my boss tells me I got the seals. So let's just go finish up the other truck and get that truck out of here. There's the seals. Guess I didn't have the other seals for the antifreeze. Here's the original, because we just put this one on. Alright, let's get to it. Comes with the filter, so let's just take this one off and see how it looks like. Put the new one on. Alright, let's flip her over. Ugh, my goodness. Alright, nope, you cannot see. Let's put the seals on. Goes a specific way. I don't know if you guys could see. Let me get the light closer. I don't know if you could see. There's like ridges on this. There's two ridges that are far apart, and then the top ridges has a little extra on top that goes in the outside towards the block. I don't know if that was a good explanation, but if you ever do this, you will see that the pointy side goes in the outside. It's actually idiot proof.
Yeah, with that shape, I would hope so.
And it goes in a specific way too. The pointier side goes in the outside. I was looking at it, I was like,
I know, I always wonder.
yeah. So always make sure it's in, you know.
You can't tell when you take them out either.
No, when you take them off, you can actually tell, but over time, since that's old and original, it's completely flat.
Yeah.
So you can't really tell. That's why before I put it on, I looked at it, I was like, okay, so the pointy side goes in the outside.
Yeah.
You know?
I always worry about that. Can you help me throw this tank on the floor quick?
Just push it off whatever it is. It's on the floor.
It's full of gas.
Alright, let me be right back. Let me help my buddy here with his gas tank. So, we are back. Put this cooler on. So you guys know, I got it off from the bottom. So I'm gonna put it back up here. And I'm gonna start it off. And then I'm gonna show you guys how it looks like when it's on. Alright, I am done at the bottom. Just finished tightening up that one. Did that one, that one, that one, that one, and the ass one that was in that side. Got that one nice and tight. Let's go to the top, tighten up the line, and put the downpipe back on in the muffler. And then we gotta find the oil filter and do an oil change on this truck. And since we already got the oil filter out, I'm gonna show you how to drain the oil out of the truck from the pan. This is considered an oil pan right here. So let's go finish this up. Alright folks, it is on. There she is. Everything is back together. Now we just gotta put the downpipe back on. And let's get to it. Alright, you guys let me know if this would be a good spot for you guys. Comment down below if this is a good spot. And let me know if you guys can see the exhaust part of the turbo. Start tightening it up. Alright, let's crawl under and see how it looks like from underneath. Alright, looks like a pipe from underneath. And there you have it, the hangers are on. Oh my god. Alright folks, we are done. Alright everybody, I got everything set and ready to drain the oil. Guys, I'm not the only one that hates these filters. They're a pain in the ass. It's just these kind of filters. All the other filters are okay. Alright guys, I put the filter on. It's not screwed in all the way, but I just had to get into a better position. Okay, now we just screw them freely. Alright, got the oil filter installed, and here's the drain plug from the oil pan. The oil plug, got the bucket ready. Then loosen up the oil plug. Now this takes 31 quarts of oil. Alright, we sit there and let that drain for until it drains. Alright, the oil is drained, it's just dripping. Let's just put the plug back on. Alright, we're gonna add the 31 quarts of oil. Where the heck did I put my light now? Huh. Found the light. Without falling. And we put 31 quarts of oil in this pipe. Alright, got the oil in. Let's put the antifreeze back where it belongs. I'm gonna use this bucket. Drain that into the bucket, bring the bucket up here, and then drain it up in there. There is a tool to use to do it, but there's not much antifreeze this truck takes, so we're just gonna do it by hand. Alright, we just finished putting up the antifreeze. It was low on antifreeze. Let's put some more in it. I think that should be enough. You don't want to overfill it up, because then it's just gonna blow out of the cap. Alright, let's start this itch up. Alright. Let it cycle. Give her a start. Ta 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 dun 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 dun. It started. Battery's almost dying on the light and on the camera. Now we're just gonna go check if there's any leaks. If there's no leaks, thumbs up. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. I guess that should be all. We're gonna do some paperwork, sniff around, make sure everything is good. Another happy customer. Peace.